All right, so the first thing I'm going to show you guys about Evoto is going to be the stray hair removal because that's what I use the most. So it's one click. Everything about Evoto is that it's one click. It might not be perfect just yet because it's AI that's still developing, but it's one click. You can see that I have a ton of flyaway hairs. It was like super windy that day. So all I'm going to do is bring this up to 100 just so you can see how good of a job it does in one click. Boom. What would normally take me, I don't know, 5 or so minutes to edit out is a click. Now, again, it's not perfect because if you can see here on my camera lens, it kind of bled, like right here, you can see that it bled into my camera a little bit. And here on top, you can see that it's a little bit too blurry. However, if you zoom out, it's really not that bad. That depends on you, that's your preference, but I probably wouldn't deliver this to my client. I would probably bring it back down a little bit around here. Honestly, that looks good to me, and I would go in and just kind of Photoshop that out. And maybe a little bit of this, which would be a lot less time than going in and deleting all of that. So again, just so you can see it, without any, with it, without, with it. Now, another thing that I want to show you guys about this is going to be the blemish removal. So real quick, just so you can see what the stray hair removal would look like on here. This is at, oh, it's already at 100, without it, with it, without it, with it. Okay. Another thing that I want to show you guys is the double chin feature. Now, I do get a lot of people that ask me to edit out their double chin, and don't act like you don't see mine. I'm going to go in, and again, this is just one click. Rather than going into Photoshop and doing the liquify tool or however it is that you are doing, because there's a lot of different ways to do it, you can just simply click the double chin section. So this is without any double chin editing on here, and this is with it at 100. Ooh! So what it does is kind of just color it in, fill it in with like the natural contrast that the photo already has, just to make it kind of more, you know, lift it up a little bit. So without it, with it, without it, with it. Again, this is going to be preference on whether how much you like it or not. Maybe you want to do it a little bit less. Maybe you want to do it all the way. That's preference. But again, this is all one click. The next thing I want to show you guys, still within this photo, let's actually bring up this one. If you click up here, you can see that on my face, you can see some of my scars on my nose and my, up here. You can see some dry spots around my lower lip. You can see a little bit of one pimple on this side and just some like uneven texture on my cheek. This is also all one click in Evoto. So you're gonna go here where it says face refinement, freckles and acne, and I'm gonna bring it all the way to 100 so you can see what it looks like. Boom. Nice and even texture all the way around. Now, if somebody had acne, if somebody had freckles, I would bring the freckles down to 0 because I don't ever want to delete anybody's freckles. You never know if maybe somebody asked you that. I don't think that would really happen, but if somebody did, that is a feature. But with the freckles and acne, you bring it up to about 100 to see how it looks like, and then from there you can adjust it. But again, this is all one click. Another cool thing that I do use a lot is the face shine reduction. So if you look here, I brought it down to 100, to 0 so you can see it. If you look here, there's just a little bit too much highlight on my cheek. So I'm going to bring that to 100 just so you can see what that looks like. It just kind of mutes those super bright highlights in your subject's face, which is great. You can also use the dark circles feature, all of that good stuff. Let's go to this next photo, okay? I want to show you guys the de-wrinkle feature in Evoto. So normally, I don't like leaving wrinkles in my clients' clothes. I don't, especially if it looks distracting. It's just, I don't like it. But it does take a lot of time, so I try to make sure that they're aware and that they're ironing their clothes ahead of time. But for example, in this photo, there's some wrinkles on my dress. This is also one click, which is amazing. Watch what happens when I bring the de-wrinkle clothing section to 100, okay? Look in particular right here. Boom, okay? It totally smoothened it out, again, all in one click. Without it, with it, without it, with it. Now, there is an option for how much you can do with this. So if you look here on the right where it says de-wrinkle clothing, you'll see that there's a fine wrinkles removal and a deep wrinkles removal. The deep wrinkles are going to be more of those harder, more obvious wrinkles in the clothing. So if you bring this down to 100, you'll see what I mean. You see how it brought those back? Let's bring it back up to 100. Gone. Now, the finer wrinkles are more of those like really subtle ones. Usually I do like to bring the fine wrinkles back down to 0 just to make it look a little bit more natural. So let's bring that from 0 to 100. From 100 to 0. You can see that some of those wrinkles came back, and I do think that those fine wrinkles are the texture, and I don't want to ever remove texture. So I'm going to bring it back to 100 so you can see what it looks like. You see how it looks more like, kind of like obviously Photoshop? It's really hard to see for this one, but I do like to bring it back down to 0. Now, the last feature that I like to use in Evoto is going to be the sky replacement tool, okay? So this is what the sky looks like for this photo. Doesn't look bad or anything. I brought a little bit back up. I brought a little bit of the blue back in Photoshop, but I wanted it to be more punchy still because it was a really beautiful day that day. So what I'm going to do is go to the sky replacement, and Evoto gives you a bunch of different sections. Blue skies, bright blue skies, sunset and sunrise, or starry nights. I like to linger within the bright blue skies section. And you can see here how seamless it does at just matching the colors to your subject. Now, some of these are a little more like obviously Photoshopped, but if you go up to this one, for example, you'll see that that one looks really nice. And they also give you the option to decide how much you want it to be there. So maybe you want it just about halfway there. Maybe you want it like all the way there. You can also change how warm it is or how cold it is. That looks really Photoshopped, obviously, like that. You can change the saturation of it, make it less saturated, more saturated. It's up to you, but it does a really good job, even if you go into the sunset section, of matching the colors all throughout the photo so that within just a couple of clicks, you have a whole new look to your photo. Evoto has been an absolute game changer in my workflow. It's saved me hours of editing, and it's continuously being improved on because it's AI. So I can't wait to see what it looks like in a couple more years. I'm imagining that I'm going to be able to edit, a whole 40 image album in like an hour maybe in the future. But if you're not using it, use it. It is game changer. It just works. This video is not sponsored in any way, but if you'd like to learn more about how I run my photography business, join my Instagram group or visit the Photography Business Secrets podcast.